Savannah. Thanks for meeting me here at the Washington Paw Park here in Avon. I love this place. Have you been here before?
Yeah, I've actually brought my dogs here before.
That's very cool. I've only been here a couple times because, as you know, my dogs are little snots and they don't play well with others, so I don't get to come here as much as you do. So how long has this place been in existence? Do you have any idea?
I'm not really sure how long they've been here. I know at least since about 2015, so they've been established for a while.
Okay. Well, the reason I'm highlighting this park is because I know that you love animals. You love to rescue animals, you foster animals, and that's a part of your passion and what you bring to the table. What about this park is appealing to you?
It's really great if you don't have a place for your dogs to run freely, to be able to bring them out here and let them really run off leash. If you have young dogs or super energetic dogs that you have trouble getting all their energy out of, it's great to have them be able to play with other dogs, interact and socialize, and get a lot of that energy out in a healthy way.
Nice. So if you've never been here before, what are the steps in order to be able to bring your pet here?
Number one, need to make sure that your animal is up to date on vaccines. So rabies, bordetella, and distemper vaccinations are required by this park just to get in the door, and that's for safety reasons. They want to make sure your pet and any other pets that come here are safe and secure. Once you have the history from your vet, you take it to the park office and register all of your information, including any microchip information and the vaccination history with the park. It's $50 for a whole year for one dog, and if you have multiple dogs, if you have two dogs, you can do a $75 pass. You can only bring two dogs at a time, but it's $75 for those two dogs for the entire year.
Nice. And it's open year-round?
It's open year-round. The times just change from sunup to sunrise, basically, and once you get your pass, you can come in and let yourself in as you please. So there's a key fob that you'll get, and you can just swipe in whenever you'd like.
Nice. So when you bring your animals here for the first time, what are some tips that you have as far as introducing them to the other animals when you're not sure the behavior of the other animal and how your animal may respond to that one?
Well, definitely the first thing I want to remind everyone is that even though you're bringing your animal here to the dog park and you've signed these forms, you are still legally responsible for your animal. So it's very important that you're aware of your dog's cues, their communication with you, and their comfort level with other dogs. So certainly if you have any doubt that your dog may not be friendly with other dogs, I would recommend reaching out to a trainer and just going over some cues with them and figuring out if this is going to be a good environment. An easy way for you and safe way for you to do that is see how they interact with dogs on like the other side of the street when you're walking. Certainly there can be some other factors that go into that, like having the leash on, but giving you some comfort level so you can tell the trainer what's going on. If your dog has always been great with other dogs, interacted with lots of different types of dogs over the years, and you don't have any concerns, then it's great to just walk in confidently. Keep in mind that your dog is feeding off of your cues. So the communication we see our dog give us, like wagging their tails, keeping their ears up, those are easy things for us to look for. Our dogs know us so much better than we know them. So if you are at any anxiety level, they're really going to pick up on that. So really you need to be confident that your dog is going to be okay when you walk into the area. If you have two dogs, I'd recommend just bringing one at a time at first. You may have an issue with two dogs interacting with other dogs in the park. When I brought my dogs here, I knew both of them were great with other dogs, but what I didn't keep in mind was they might protect each other, and they did have a little protection, so we didn't end up going in because they were worried about each other interacting with the other animals. So we just bring them separately. So keep that in mind as well.
That's a really good point. I hadn't thought about that idea, that they would be protective over each other and to keep an eye on them.
Yeah, we hadn't either. But it is something that definitely happens a lot, so you might just need to bring them separately. But if you are sure your dogs are fine, just make sure you bring them here during non-peak hours and introduce them to the park and the smell so they can get used to it and get used to one or two other dogs before they're really introduced into the pack. And just keep in mind what your dog is most comfortable with. So if your dog really is not comfortable when there's 3 or more dogs, remove your dog from the situation before it gets dangerous. Also want to remind everyone that some dogs don't like sharing toys, so it's best to leave those at home. Same with treats. You know, don't throw treats out to the crowd. Some of the dogs might get a little aggressive about that. So keep anything that they might guard up unless you're sure that every dog in the park is going to be okay with it.
Very good. That's great information. I know when I had brought actually your dogs here one time, there was some toys already here, which is probably a good idea to have neutral toys that maybe they don't have any possession over.
Yeah, as long as your dog is okay with it. Just, you know, keep in mind some dogs may have an issue with any type of toy at all. So it's really the best tip we can give is just to know your dog's cues and know your dog. Your dog will tell you if they're worried about something before it happens. So you just need to keep a constant eye on them and monitor for those cues and get them out of the situation before anything happens.
So I know that they have water bowls here that they keep filled. Do you have any tips or ideas of like after or recommendations after they've had a good play date out playing as far as making sure they stay hydrated?
Definitely, you know, especially during the warmer months, make sure that they're getting lots of water. Keep an eye on the weather to make sure that it's not too hot for them. Just like us, dogs can get some heat-related issues. So if they're playing really hard out here and it's hot, you need to take frequent breaks or only be here for, you know, a short sense of time and call them over to the water to entice them to drink during that time. If they start to act exhausted, they probably are exhausted, and take them home, get them on a cool surface, and let them have plenty of water. Same thing in the winter, they can get cold as well. If you're cold, they're cold, so they're not bundled up like you a lot of the time. So keep that in mind, just shorter stints.
Cool. Do you have any other recommendations that we might share?
Just have fun, just be confident and have fun. It is a great place if your dog is confident with other animals. It's a great place for them to socialize and have fun and play and burn off some energy, so you don't have to help them burn off energy.
Well, I think like for us people, I love to be outside. I love to be in nature, and I really do believe it's good for them too to be out in the fresh air and intermingle with other animals and being outside just in general. So thank you for sharing your information about this park, and we look forward to having all of our animals outside.